Hey everyone, it's Gothic Layman here. So I thought I'd finally talk about the 40 years of Gothic fashion because I know every other YouTuber, goth alternative alike has probably talked to death about the female version. I know we're going to get a lot of reaction videos of the male's version, so this isn't a reaction video to them. It's more of my opinions about what I've seen from both videos and what I can take from both of them. I think one, it should have been named 40 Years of Alternative Fashions, being that when you stick something in that goth box or that goth label, there's a pretty high standard from people in the Gothic subculture to how they envision or picture that history and that evolution of it. And then, of course, you get a lot of elder goths that were actually seeing the styles and they're horrified by it. So, as I can see, 40 Years of goth fashion is she's picked more a mainstream approach to the fashion. So what came out in mainstream music or mainstream fashion worlds and incorporated into the videos. So the female one, I really enjoyed the style of it. I thought it was really fun and quite playful. But also I can see a lot of where she's kind of gone wrong with her vision being like just as simple as pin-up should have been gothabilly. Because gothabilly is a really big fashion following. It's, it's a culture as well, because there is millions of gothabilly events out there. So I love the fact that she did try to incorporate a dress with like Frankenstein and that on it, but it was just a bit too like boom for a gothic subculture. It was too much. And also with the death rocker girl as well. That was just completely flipped to what you expect a death rocker style to be or to look like, if that makes sense. So that was my sort of take on the female. And it's like with the male one that she's taken all the negatives that she's heard from the females and stripped the males down to try and please people now because of the negatives that she got from that one. And I think it's really disappointing that she did that. Like, of course, some of the clothes are beautiful and a bit more fantastic, and the guy looked amazing in what he was wearing. Sorry, I'm going to do nail polish at the same time, but I think for one, they should have, like, traditional was pretty close. I'm going to not lie. Traditional trad goth was very close to what you would expect. But I would have loved to see death rocker there as well. And more of, like, mohawks, like fishnets ripped up, like a proper what you would expect death rocker at the beginning, and then of course bring the death rocker revival back at the end of the video, because the death rockers of today are slightly different from the death rockers back in the day. I think there's more depth to the male fashion than there is what the video showed. Like, just take, for example, Fields of Nephilim have brought out interesting male fashion, more like cowboy, sort of apocalyptic fashion. This is different from steampunk, where, again, I think they should have added a male version of steampunk because, that there was room for more play, to be honest. And I think they should have brought more of the Field of Nephilim style with the hat, the cowboy hats, the cowboy boots. Like, they did put the cowboy boots on the trad goth, when, of course, it should have been more close to the winkle pickers. But there is an actual style following of, you know, cowboy boots, the trench coats, the cowboy hat. So I think that was completely forgotten, which was really disappointed. The romantic guy, like the romantic look, he kind of just made me think of Prince a little bit, or Frankenfurter from Rocky Horror, and I think that was a bit sort of, I didn't like it, to be honest. I didn't like that, you know, that sort of new romantic, but each to their own. I felt that the vampire style looked too much like Ozzy Osbourne, my opinion. Like, maybe they followed Ozzy's style, but I feel that there could have been more to the vampire style a little bit, as well as maybe the vampire could have had a more of a Victorian feel. Like, Victorian goth got completely forgotten, like, especially in the male Victorian goths. Like, we've got corporate goths now, and that's close to Victorian, so that was really disappointing. The Edwardian style, yes, it's absolutely beautiful, but it just makes me think of Adam Lambert when I see the Edwardian style and what Adam Lambert wears all the time. So that kind of put me off with the Edwardian style. Also, the industrial goth had a lot of latex and the latex skirt going on, where I've heard other people argue that it was more fetish looking, which I agree. I think when they made the fetish reference at the end of the video where she walked him out with the collar, they should have made a whole separate slot for fetish there, and they should have made the more industrial look industrial, to be honest. I can't complain about Cyber. Cyber was pretty spot on. Like I said, I can't complain also about the Death Rock revival, because there has kind of been a revival. I'm not going to go into details about if the dates and the timeline where she placed them were right or wrong, because, you know, it's too technical to get into those details. But I think they should have had an old school Death Rocker to Death Rocker revival. That kind of would make more sense to me, as well as just adding some of those more that are missing. Like, yes, emo was a bit of like, oh, why is emo there? But they should have replaced emo with something like gothabilly or steampunk. You know what I mean? So they could have sort of left emo out completely. So, but in saying that, they were really playful, fun videos. I loved watching them. I love the fact that now I can make a video for you guys on my opinion on it. So good or bad, it doesn't matter. It's a fun video at the end of the day. So please don't try and make it too serious. And because goth, you know, we put too much labels on goth all the time, and we purposely put ourselves in that box, and the box keeps getting smaller and smaller. When most goths, we're all very creative and we love to experiment. We all dabble in all those different styles. Like, I've got pin-up dresses, and I've got like really gypsy, renaissance-y style dresses, and so it just depends. It's each to your own. Remember that you don't have to stay in that style box too. You can completely branch out of that, and that is okay as well. But thank you for making the 40 years of Gothic style videos, because I loved watching them. But I think there was a lot missing from them too. Just the fact is, give the Gothic men more credit. they're more creative with their styles than you think. It's not just like 4 or 5 different styles. Like, men are just as in depth with their styles as women are. So that's all I really wanted to say. I hope you enjoyed my video. Please like, subscribe, comment down below. Sorry, I'm very toned down because I'm getting ready for work. So normally I'd be way more extravagant than this. So I will talk to you next time.